Alright guys, thank you very much for joining us again, the Paki Bros. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Destroyer Dharma.
Yes.
Hello guys.
Or better known as the Destroyer Dharma, a famous Singapore pro wrestler and also a champion bodybuilder.
Yes, champion bodybuilder as well. Thank you very much for joining us and agreeing to do this podcast with us, bro.
Yes, we are very honored to have us as our first guest in our podcast. So how should we address you? Double D or is it Destroyer?
It's Danie will do.
Danie,
Danie,
yeah? Alright,
right.
Danie. Okay, a lot of people have a lot of questions when it comes to bodybuilding. Like,
That's right. Yeah.
And then I have loads of questions here, but I just pick it off as and we go around.
Yeah.
So the very first one, bro, that everybody, and I'm sure that you have get this question a lot, especially from lots of haters,
Yes.
is do you do steroids?
Oh. Okay, this question is you see, it's a very subjective question to answer because you see, if I say yes, there will be consequences to me. If I say no, there will also be consequences to me. And by speaking out about this kind of issues, right? Okay, let's say the people who ask me this question, let's say I share certain things, and then because of that, I lose potential sponsorships or I lose potential deals. These people who ask this question, will they be able to compensate me for that?
Yes.
They cannot, then they should not be asking me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So that is for him to know lah.
Yes. So haters, you should. I mean, if you really want to give him a paycheck, you should ask him, and you ask
Fair
him.
enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair enough.
But
I should add something lah. You know, this steroid thing, right? It's not a bodybuilding issue.
Yes, that's true.
It's
I
actually,
get it. Yep,
It's an issue that they do it in all sports.
that's true.
It's just that.
But they tend to focus it more on
Yeah, correct.
bodybuilding.
Yes.
Why is that so?
because bodybuilders wear the look.
The muscles are
The
basically.
muscles, yeah. So basically, right? I mean, like, I'm sure he has put in his work. I mean, 21 years in the sport.
21 years.
21 years,
in the
guys.
sport
21
of-
years. Not 1 year, 2 years, 1 year,
21
2
years.
months.
No, not only the sport. 21 years of dedicating his lifestyle passion into building that body and maintaining it. That requires a lot of discipline. I mean, steroid or not does not matter. I mean, we have to actually commend the man on his dedication to the craft. As what you mentioned, actually, bro, itu steroids. I mean, even bikers, no,
Yeah.
cycling bikers or even other sports.
I'm strong for this I used before.
Two PDs, but because, like I said, he does not wear the look, so people does not really matter.
Because, you know, I can tell you guys, there are people in the gym who sometimes they'll walk up to me and say, hey, I'm taking steroid A, B, and C.
Yeah.
How come my body never changed at all? 6 months already.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
people have this misconception that the moment you take it, you're just going to become randomly muscular.
Without doing the work lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and they're taking and they're coming to the gym regularly.
Okay. Can I share an anecdote with you, bro? Like, I have people in the gym. I don't want to mention which gym. So this guy, he's been taking steroids for 6 months.
Okay.
But he's still the same, bro. So, I mean, like, I think it's just more focused on actually working, right? Showing up and just doing that workout instead of just relying on performance enhancers, right?
Yeah, because you see, fundamentally, right, bodybuilding is 80% nutrition and 20% training. And most people, right, they only focus on the training part. And even the training part, their training strategy might not be even correct. You see, like, to reach my level, right, when I train, I don't just go and train. I need to be in an elevated psychological state. So that when I'm going there to train, right, I'm able to push my body very, very far. Because the thing is, if you're in a state of normalcy, right, we have this thing called CNS inhibitions. Basically, CNS means central nervous system. So your nerves actually inhibit your body from working to its best extent because to prevent injuries. So your body restricts your muscle fiber activation and stuff like that.
So basically, you are just limiting your potential because of the fear of, like, you know what I mean, like the
You see, that this is not a voluntary thing.
Yeah.
This is a subconscious thing, a process by your body. So,
But can you tell, bro? Like, you know, okay, like you see somebody. Like last time, I had a friend who used to do steroids before. So he went to the gym and he got big, lah. You know. So the person, so-called like caretaker of the gym, suddenly comes and looks at him. You look different, only. In the matter of short period, lah. You know, short period of time, lah. So then he used to say that if you touch him, it's not like a bit fake, only. So is it possible to tell when someone is using?
okay, there are some people who are hyper responders. That means they take only their body response. But these are all temporary muscles. It's not real muscle. It's just that the muscle is holding water, more muscle water, more. So they look bigger, but it's temporary. The moment they go off, all the muscle water will go off.
So they have this. That's what people call cycle, right? On and off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like basically like I'm sure I heard people on cycle. So when you're off cycle, you can see their body shrink. But then when you're on cycle, they get so buffed.
But you see, it's not supposed to be that way. You see, here's the thing. Bodybuilding, like I was saying, there's the training and there's the nutrition. So we go back to the training, right? You cannot just train. You got to push your body beyond certain threshold. Okay, I was talking about the steroids inhibitions, right? Because by default, your body limits the amount of work you can do.
Yes.
Because your body wants to protect itself, it doesn't want to let you get injured by allowing your muscles to be fully utilized. So what I will do as an athlete, I will watch videos and psych myself up. Watch training videos and ask myself a lot of questions while I'm on my way to the gym.
Yep.
Why am I coming here? Why am I trying to
I believe
achieve?
that.
So when I enter the gym, right, I'm already in an elevated state.
Yep.
I'm a bit furious, that kind of
You're ready, your prime.
Yeah. So when I start training at that state, I'll be able to push my body much further. The brain, because the brain is so intense, he will allow your CNS to not restrict you so much.
Remember, I used to do it for Minami. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like basically, when you go on a workout, right, you see things that can really excite you. Like
It sounds wrong, bro.
No. I'm not talking about sexual. Like you see things, you read things, you want to see things that really give you that edge in mental. I'm really prime.
I think music plays a part. Music
helps. Yeah. So
what kind of music do you listen to pump you up, bro? Are you heavy metal guy? Please don't tell me you're classical, bro.
A bit of heavy metal, mostly rock.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Really the age,
the rock.
Some rap, some badass raps, right? Yeah, some rap tunes, hip hop. Yeah,
the heavy kind.
Heavy hip hop, yeah. Okay, so before you go into bodybuilding, another thing that I really like to hear from your point of view is just that you were saying that your prime entry to bodybuilding is because you have passion for the sport, and also because you had a fair share of getting bullied back in the younger days, and I know you were a prime paragon of anti-bullying. So can you share us with that regarding that?
Okay so
how it started for you?
Right
from the very beginning, bro?
Yes.
The very beginning, right? I was watching an Arnold movie with my dad. I think it was Commando. Either Commando or Predator.
Classic,
I don't want.
I eat green berets for breakfast. Yeah. Okay.
So when my dad told me that he's a bodybuilder, that's why he looks like that. So at the age of 6, I think I was 6 years old. So I already had this idea that when I grow up, I'm going to be also a bodybuilder. So I had that kind of thing going on.
Also the Commando,
the Commando,
Arnold
Schwarzenegger, bro.
So from the time I'm 6 all the way, when I picture my adult self, I'm a bodybuilder. I couldn't picture myself any other way.
So it kind of stays, that mental image stays in you that said, this is what I'm going to be. And I'm going to work.
And look at him from 6 years old to now. How young are you now, bro?
36.
30 years of mental imagery, and you can't fault this guy, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. Oh, okay, so how did the bullying part came into the picture?
Okay, so when I entered secondary school, I was super skinny. I was 47 kg.
In secondary school,
before I start bodybuilding.
Secondary school, and that was Sec 1, Sec 2, or
Sec 1 I was even smaller, probably 30 something.
Because you were malnutrition, bro. 30 something.
It was really. I saw your picture when you showed in your TikTok, in your social media. He was really normal, lanky Indian guy, food, those food.
Long distance runners.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because my family genetics is pure ectomorph. So we are all like that. My brothers, even my dad was like that when he was young also.
Smaller.
So skinny bones, long bones.
I see.
So actually it's a gift for being a track and field athlete.
Yes.
So I found that without much training I can do mid distance very, very well. But I cannot sprint, I cannot do long jump or this strength stuff I cannot.
But you can still going to run and just keep pushing it. Yeah.
So I was skinny and all. That's one thing. And back in the day, racism was a bit more rampant than it is now.
That's true. Yep, I agree.
Okay, I will not say that I got bullied purely for racism, but it had a hand in it lah.
For sure.
For sure.
I was this skinny guy, so it's easy to wake me up, and I can't defend myself easy. And because of the dynamics, right, I'm the only Indian guy in my class, so I don't really have a clique.
Because of the social dynamics in that school, so you were probably ostracized because of the race. during that point of time lah. Not really street race lah, but I think it's just the odd one out.
Yeah,
Right?
not to that extent. Like, you know, I had friends from other classes and stuff, but my class itself, I was like the Indian guy, and
I was only Paki guy in my class, bro.
Yeah, I understand that concept.
So like, if let's say a Chinese guy were to get bullied, right, his friends all come and stop the bully. Whereas I didn't have a clique like that.
I see.
So you don't have the backup, so you were probably practically on your own.
So that's the first thing. And second thing is I'm the small guy. I cannot fight myself. I cannot defend myself. But that's the second thing. The third thing is that, you know, you are a teenager, right? You are very self-conscious. You don't want to complain to the teacher.
Yeah, understand. You don't be like the woos, right? Understand, bro.
Because you're already being bullied and made to look like a geek. You don't want to make it even worse for yourself.
Correct. That's true. Understand.
So what age did you first pick up the weight, bro?
I started around 15.
15. 15 years old.
Wow.
Sexy.
So during that point of time, when you were in secondary school, the internet was at its infancy, right, bro?
Yeah, it wasn't really
a thing. And then bodybuilding, bro, it's the knowledge of bodybuilding is not so rampant. You have social media to actually tell you what to do. Okay. I'm sure you got to learn it the hard way, right? Go to the library,
Books, magazines,
find out the hard way. Like, is this
Flex magazines?
Yeah. Is that how you do it?
Yes, I read books because I was actually an express student. I was a science student. So
this fella, the brains and the bronze, guys.
Yeah, so you know, I got some bodybuilding books, and because of my science background, I actually understood what I was reading. So like, I made sense of it. Then because I read that, I realized that I also needed to understand nutrition. So I got other books for nutrition, and I understood that as well. So when I started my program when I was 15, I pretty much already knew what to do. I just went to the gym and execute.
Okay. So 15 to 16, then after that you on NS? NS?
I went to IT first.
IT first. So IT, you still doing weights as well?
No. By the time I went to IT, I was already pretty much more buff already.
Recheck, yeah.
Okay.
No, because 16 and then growing muscles and, probably the best time for growth spurts.
The timing was perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Because I went through a slightly late puberty. So, like, when I was 15 at the start, right, I'm still short, and then I'm still like skinny. I still have a very boyish voice. All my classmates are 1/8 taller than me already. So when I started training at that time, that 1 year I grew by 10 cm because my puberty kicked in. Then I'm already training.
Yeah, testosterone levels will shoot up during that point of time. Wow.
So by the time I finished my O level 16, right, the next when I come back to take my O level results, right, my weight was like 64 kg. When I left the school,
that's pretty badass, man. Yeah, I mean that's pretty solid for.
65 kg muscle, bro.
Yeah,
I'm skinny,
and people might think it came easy for me, but they didn't know because at the age of 15, right, because I read about protein intake, so I went to the provision shop and I was looking at all the things like, one can of tuna, how much protein,
counting your calories and macros and all that.
Yeah,
wow.
so
at the age of 16, guys, what are you doing, bro? 16.
Without any app, now we have apps to do that.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh man, you got to gauge.
Hard work,
today
dedication.
I don't use the apps.
Yeah, but what do you think about the app? Is it?
Okay, so think about it, right? All these apps are developed by IT guys
who doesn't know anything about
They
bodybuilding.
might not necessarily be a nutritionist, so they might just pull all this information from the web.
And then they just like
here's the thing. Food, right, can be very, very different. The cooked food and uncooked food, the macros will be different. It means, let's say 100 grams of brown rice, for example, has about 75 gram carbs.
Okay.
But once you cook that 100 grams of rice, right, it's no longer 100 grams. And it's not standardized because everybody has a different rice cooker. Everybody uses different amount of water. So
the variables are different. So you cannot say that everything's the same because there are different conditions.
And a lot of these apps don't capture these things. They just cut and paste.
Yeah, just make it easier.
Rice is rice, cut and paste.
See?
But for yourself, bro, how do you keep yourself motivated? Because I know there's a Malay saying, they say semangat 2 minit.
Yeah.
Because 2 minutes, 2 minutes of that. So I also actually went through that before. So how do you keep yourself motivated for years?
Okay, the initial stage, right, is I wanted to take control of my life again. I felt like I went through too much humiliation and I wanted to fight back. I wanted to like show people that, hey, look, this is the new me. Just along that line.
It's probably an awakening in a way. Correct. And also like what do you say, like revenge is living well.
The best revenge.
Yeah, it's living well. It's
I thought revenge was the best so cold, bro.
Yeah, but it's pretty awesome. Okay, so you were pretty bodybuilding back then, and then suddenly national service, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, I went into the Navy lah. I was at 19 years old.
So you went to the Navy.
Yeah.
So what were you doing in the Navy, bro?
I was
NDU.
You Navy SEAL, bro.
No, I was just a normal shipboard specialist.
What specialist?
A normal shipboard specialist.
Shipboard
Yeah,
specialist.
I was in charge of weapons. I was a weapon control specialist. So that means I have a radar, I have a console to control the weapons.
Oh.
And then the gun and the missiles lah. That's like all under my charge.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. Like,
So-
I mean, the weapons and missiles on the ship itself.
Yeah, correct.
So, are you an officer, bro, in the Navy?
No. I was a specialist.
Specialist. I see. So in the Navy itself, I'm assuming that you were really buffed up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was already buffed up when I was in IT. I already started competing when I was in IT. Okay, but here's the thing if it was actually a most people might think that you go to IT is the end. For me, it was a blessing. Because you see, I was actually an express student, Sec 4 O level. At that point of time, I was burnt out. So I ended up failing maths. Because you fail maths, they won't allow you to go to poly.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fucked up thing, bro. I think something wrong with this. I'm sorry, I'm not bashing the education system, but you judge a person's capability by mathematics. I know mathematics is like, okay lah, but seriously, just by failing mathematics, you can't go anywhere. I mean, this is the only place, in the world.
That's what happened to me, you know.
But then it's a blessing in disguise, because I tell you, ITE students right now, I think they are doing much better than university grads.
Yeah.
I believe so, because skills.
So it's never the end, guys.
It's never the end.
It
Yeah.
wasn't about that. Because when I went to IT, right, my sports teacher picked me out as a talent for bodybuilding. And they sent me for my first bodybuilding contest. That's how I got introduced to bodybuilding.
You say such a badass. Who's your teacher, bro?
His name is Mr. Lim Willip. There's two of them, Mr. Lim Willip and Mr. Albert Tan. But Mr. Albert Tan has passed on.
Oh my.
Okay, so Mr. Lim Willip, shout out to you, man.
And to the late Mr. Albert Tan, you guys are the best. Because one thing I like about teachers is when they spot talent, and they actually actively tell you to stop for it. Because I'm telling you, that's very rare. Because nowadays, teachers, you better pass your levels. You better go this one. You better. So it's just a.
But that is Singapore, bro. Generally, sports doesn't give you the paycheck, lah.
I know,
Speaking,
but you just take a look at these two teachers. You see there's a talent in this guy for bodybuilding, and they say, you know what, go for it. And look at and remember we would say about the universe always says it's right. So that's the first path to your bodybuilding career. So tell us about the first bodybuilding competition, man. How was it? The nerves and all
the
that.
very first one.
Yeah, preparations.
The very first one,
yeah.
When I first went into a gym, I started 47 kg. So I went for my first bodybuilding contest. I was weighing around, I think, 64.
And what was the criteria for that bodybuilding?
Okay, that one was a tertiary below 70 kg.
Below 70, okay.
Right.
So before that, I have never watched or been to a bodybuilding contest before. So my first time at a bodybuilding contest was me walking out to the stage.
Wow.
Okay, honestly speaking, do you ever felt embarrassed or nervous wearing those skimpy bodybuilding trunks, bro?
Was it like
because the very first time, I mean, now of course you're a seasoned professional, but the very first time, you're like, you're like nervous. People see, I know. So people see me in underwear, so called,
So actually, it was different. Okay, you see, because previously, right, I was used to being the guy who was embarrassed. I didn't want people to see me. Because I'm so used to being the guy who get beaten up, then like, I say I want to hide my face.
Yeah.
Alright.
But bodybuilding changed that for me. Because there was even a point of time I was having anxiety. Because sometimes in the train, and there's always somebody who will give you a weird look for don't know for what.
I understand.
Jealous, bro.
I understand. Yeah.
That time I was still skinny.
Oh,
So I'm just standing there.
So they will just give you that corner look.
Some guy will give you a kind of look. Then you'll be thinking, did this guy see me get beaten up before? Wow, is he judging me? Then you just feel anxious.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So bodybuilding helped me to overcome
that
this
fear.
because now when someone looks at me, I will think that they're not used to seeing someone who is fit looking. So
But during your first time, bro, you were about to go on stage, during the very first time, were you proud? Were you feeling proud?
Because when I stepped on stage, right,
Yeah.
I had all this new muscle. And I felt so
exactly.
empowered. So I was like ready to go out there and show people, hey, look, this is the new me.
I understand.
Awesome.
So that day, I didn't just walk through the curtains to that show. I walked through the curtains to a new life.
I like that. It's so empowered,
awesome,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually
pretty
power,
awesome.
bro.
Yeah. Walk to the curtain to a new life.
Okay, being in so many years in bodybuilding, bro, being a bodybuilder, to you yourself, what do you think is your best feature?
The best feature.
Yeah,
Generally, I think my legs.
your legs are the quads. So that's what people. Do people ever come to you and say, "I wish I had legs like yours, man"?
For sure.
Huh?
Maybe.
But the thing, that's the thing about I like the answer because not a lot of people will say that. Because
Bicep, tricep, chest, kind of thing.
But the quads and the legs are the most hardest to train, I think, to me.
The legs are keep you upright. Bro.
Yep. Yeah, because I believe that the legs and the trunk, like this is the most important thing for for a bodybuilder, because that's where the growth spurts, right? Okay, I mean you can have chest and all that, but the legs, bro. Not many people don't train legs, bro.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
bro?
That's why it's always a saying, they forgot leg day.
True, man.
The problem, right, is training legs is not so flashy. Doing a squat is difficult.
Yes,
it's very difficult. Yeah, I know.
You're not just moving the weight, but you need to balance your body, and
Core,
you need to
your
keep
core
so many things
stabilizing,
in mind. Knee flexion, hip flexion. Your shoulder posture, everything.
Yep.
So because there's so much to it, right, and it's very exhausting. Even you do a set of light squats,
People just don't want to do
heavy.
it. Yeah, because they you know what you said about like overcoming that mental age.
Yeah.
What do you call it? CNNS, right? This is part of it.
Yeah.
People want to feel good, but they don't want to do the hard work. Because
it's always the case,
it's just the mental barrier. They always want to do something they are comfortable with, right?
When you got yourself bigger, bro, okay, did you started to spend more time in front of the mirror?
What?
No, I mean honestly, bro, you're like, hey, not so bad, kind of thing. Or when you drink, do you ever look at your muscles,
Actually, it was quite interesting. Because from the time I started at 47 kg, right, I fell in love with the process. So I stopped thinking about looking in the mirror, am I bigger today or not?
Because there are a lot of people, generally speaking, I'm sure you yourself seen being in the gym so many times. Leave a bit, then they look more. Leave a bit, they look more.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, guys. I'm sure you guys are there also, watching.
Yeah. I mean, we before, but you fell in love the process because you are passionate about bodybuilding.
Yes,
because when you fall in love with the sport, bro, all this will come. It will be natural. You understand? Because you are more focused on, am I doing the right weight? Am I doing the right lifting? Is my technique correct? Instead of the end result. Because if you do your techniques right, the end result will speak for itself.
For posing wise, bro. Posing. Did anybody teach you how to pose? Because you used to lift weights, be a bodybuilder. But when it comes to posing, I'm sure there's certain poses to accentuate a certain muscle group. Did anybody have to actually teach you how to pose, or do you just go out and just do what people do and just see,
Well, because when I competed on my first bodybuilding show, I was going as a school team competitor, right? So my Mr. Albert Tan and also my seniors from ID Dover taught me how to do the poses.
Okay. So it was learn well.
Okay, I want to ask you something, bro. What do you think of supplements? Let's say for example to the people who just want to start bodybuilding, what should focus on? What kind of supplements do they need? Because I see a lot of people just
creatine.
They move too much, so it just takes everything. But at the end result, they're like, hey man, I'm not actually.
Okay, we'll make it simple for you guys. The 3 main supplements, bro.
Yeah.
That a person should need if they were to go into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Or basically lifting weights and all that. What is the 3 main supplements that you recommend?
Yes.
Okay, actually, if you ask me, right, I will say that there is no difference between supplements and normal food. Because supplements are made from normal food.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you see, there's this old mentality where the moment you put something in a tub with a bodybuilder on it, it's bad for your health. But all these people will say, oh, you take this one, you become fat lah.
Yeah.
But if they actually take the trouble to turn that bottle around and look at the label and the ingredients, they will be very shocked. Okay, protein powder is actually just cow's milk with the lactose removed. Lactose and fat removed. It's technically milk powder.
I never knew that, guys. I never knew. Protein powder is actually cow's milk with the lactose removed.
Yeah, because they just want to extract the protein, the good thing. Yeah.
Okay, because you see the whole it's the same as a multivitamin. Let's say for example, human body needs about 500 mg of vitamin C per day. If you want to get 500 mg of vitamin C, you need to eat about 13 oranges. And 13 oranges comes with about easily 100 something grams of sugars.
Yeah, man.
So what do? They come up with a multivitamin, a vitamin C tablet So you don't need to eat 13
You
oranges
can just take one tablet.
and concurrently
Correct.
130 grams of sugar. You just take one tablet.
I
Is
see.
it also fair to say that supplements are cheaper than consuming 13
Normal
oranges
food, yeah.
compared to a pill? You see,
Depends lah. Depends.
so it depends.
Yeah. So it's the same thing lah. So whey protein is just another protein source. Because if let's say you drink, you might be thinking lah, if it's milk powder, why not just drink milk as a whole? Because you see milk has lactose, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to have 40 grams of protein in one serving, you drink that amount of milk, which should come out to about 300-400 ml. It's too much lactose, so you'll have stomach problem. So whey protein is
True, yeah.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
So whey protein is they take out the lactose, so you can now have that 40 grams of protein
Without the side effects.
Yeah, correct.
That's it lah, bro. So yeah, I understand.
all the supplements are the same. Let's say mass gainer, they're like, wow, mass gainer, I take when I'm going to become big. But actually mass gainer is the same thing, milk powder, protein, and botanical carbohydrates. Basically like maltodextrin, that kind of thing. All these are from
So
plants.
simply put, if you want to start off exercising, bodybuilding, just start lah. Yeah. Eventually get the food get into play, but just start lah. That's the main thing.
So basically the thing that actually gets you big is when you actually pump the muscles.
Okay,
right?
so
Pump with the food comes along lah.
food comes along.
Nutrition is important, but okay, yes, because muscles are an adaptation to a workload. That means you got to push your body past certain threshold. Because if you don't train past your limit, right, your body has no reason to build new muscle. Your body is satisfied with the existing muscle.
It's like plateauing, right?
Correct.
It's like plateauing, yeah. It's stagnant. So if you don't push past that, then you will just be forever there.
Yeah, so there is that. Then you must get your macros right. Your protein, carb, and fat intake must be correct.
Yeah.
If your protein intake is not high enough, then your body just does not have the resource to build new muscle.
Yeah.
Everybody basically has on season and off season, right, bro? Okay, so when you're off season, what is your favorite food, bro?
Okay, you mean like cheat meal or?
Cheat meal, like, okay, like, you know, like your favorite food, lah, you know, cheat meal.
Okay, here's the thing lah. For me, even in my off season, I'm actually still continuing to diet because along the way I realized that you want to meet that kind of macros, you have to prepare most of it by yourself.
Yep. I understand.
If you eat out, you cannot hit that macros.
Yes.
But do you have like
so-
you know, like a cheat meal to go to?
So I also end up revolving my cheat meals around that macros. Like let's say I will tend to reach for something that has more protein. Like let's say for example like chicken chop or McDonald's. Actually McDonald's does have high protein even though the fat and all is quite high.
Okay.
Then otherwise right, I will make very specific choices. That means if I get Maggi goreng, I will add 3 eggs so that the protein is also high.
So you just work your way around the cheat meal too. So
That's not
it's
cheating, bro.
beneficial.
You need to cheat, bro.
Yeah, but
You need to let loose, bro.
Honestly, I'm not so strict with my diet as people might think because my metabolic rate is very, very high. I can easily burn out 4,000 calories. Some days I need to eat some junk meals to break even.
Okay.
So how many meals you eat per day again?
8 to 10.
8 to 10 meals.
small meals, right?
Smaller meals, medium, small, medium.
So an example of a small meal will consist?
Okay, like maybe about let me see, about maybe 200 grams of chicken breast.
Chicken
and,
breast?
You know, like a small container of rice, something like that.
So that's a small meal lah. 200 grams. Chicken breast is the main thing for bodybuilders
For
lah.
sure, yeah.
Chicken,
It's pure protein,
pure
yeah.
protein lah.
So okay, one question about the metabolic rate. How do you raise your metabolic rate?
How do you raise? You basically you move more. The more activities you do, the higher metabolic rate gets. You see, like for
Will
me,
it stay or will it go down, bro?
What do you mean?
Like you said, metabolic rate, right? You say the more you move. So if you constantly move,
It will go up lah.
It will go
Spike
up.
up
So once you become lazy, it goes down lah. Simply
Yeah,
put.
correct. Because see, there's different ways to look at it. There's the basal metabolic rate. That means right, let's say you sit down and do nothing for one whole day, how many calories you burn? That's your basal metabolic rate. Then there's the working metabolic rate. That means the total of all the activities you do in a day. So generally, if someone like me, I've built up extra muscle around my body, right? So muscles require a lot of calories to exist. So that's one of the reasons why my calorie output is so high. Then there's also my work rate. I'm actually training much more than a normal bodybuilder. Because my workout is about 3 hours, 5 times a week. Then I go to the track. I either do sprinting or just running 3 times a week. Wrestling training.
Okay, bro. With all this, may I just ask, how much you spend on food intake in a month?
Okay, $7 a day.
$7 a day?
Yes.
No, I mean, we're not talking
That's
about
it, bro.
not purchasing food outside. No, You prepare your
I
own
buy
meals.
chicken, I buy brown rice.
Yeah,
and I
prepare your own meals.
So it's about $7 a day.
So you actually save a lot of money
Yeah,
as a bodybuilder.
that's true.
And my 7
So
meals a
guys,
day
it
is-
doesn't cost a bomb actually, if you put your heart into it.
Well, the thing is like the discipline to eat the kind of macros that he mentioned, macros, proteins, and that discipline to actually prepare your own meals. Not many people have, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people just buy just buy food and eat. So that's the problem. So that's why
$7 a day is not bad, man. Seriously, it looks awesome, bro. $7 a day.
$7 a day.
Because you see, most meals cost $5 a meal.
Yeah, man, and it's
Now really, Grab delivery $10 plus a day, bro.
that's true, man.
So you see my chicken breast, one day's supply maybe $3-4.
Yeah.
Brown rice, one whole bag. One day like how much only? 200 grams
Yeah.
only.
Okay.
Total won't be so much.
And lots of water.
So $7 a day times 30 days, you guys do the math,
You drink lots of water.
Yeah, for sure lah,
That's it.
water.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about water, bro.
Huh?
Favorite drink? Do you have a favorite drink?
Coffee.
Coffee. So you're a coffee guy. Do you Danie, bro?
Very, very rare lah. Yeah,
Because you're
once a
Indian,
month,
bro.
once
Honestly
a month.
speaking.
No, but alcohol put a lot of calories, bro, right? And it also diminish your performance, in a way. Is it
What
true?
kind of performance is talking about, bro?
Sports performance.
Plus minus lah. You have it once a month, it's okay. Because you said alcohol works differently in your digestion system. Let's say you have alcohol, right? Your body will reconfigure his prioritization of digestion, and he will go and settle the alcohol first. He'll try his best to metabolize the alcohol first. So what happens is the calories from alcohol don't really become body fat.
Okay.
It's just that because all of that has passed through your system, now your body is going to store a lot more of your other food as fat. Okay, I'm saying it in a very layman way, but the process is something like that.
I see.
Yeah, but having a good alcohol, one round of just drink
Be
a lot,
fine,
once in a month, once in 2 months.
I think it
okay.
should be fine. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Moderation is the key. Moderation is the key.
Moderation is the key. So after your 10 years of Navy,
Huh?
okay, and why you decided not to sign on and serve?
Oh no, I didn't really resign. Mine was a 10-year contract. So when your contract finished, they didn't really have like a position for me.
So they make use of you for 10 years.
You see, they don't owe me a living. You see, I signed on a contract to work with them. They don't owe me a living.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I work for them. They must give me a job for life. So
that's
if
true.
the HR has no place for me, then it's not their fault.
Yeah, true.
That's a blessing in disguise. I think, if since you left there, you're flourishing more, and your wings and have flown.
So I'm sure like after your 10 years in the Navy, you like, what should I do now, right? I'm sure that's the problem. What?
Actually, all along, I wanted to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So because he had that from young.
He had that
was
from young. So-
exactly.
So okay, how did your tell us more about your journey into personal training. How did it happen after you left Navy?
Yeah, when you hear the whole story, what you will understand is that the universe has its way.
Yeah.
So when I first left the Navy, of course I had savings and all, right? So it was 2016 lah, March 2016. So August 2016 was the Mr. Singapore Championship. So I never won Mr. Singapore before, although I came quite close.
Okay.
So I told myself, okay, until August, right, I'm just going to focus on the contest.
Awesome.
And then around that time, I just came out, right? So now I have all this free time. I'm training maybe 3 hours a day, 2 hours a day. Then I got free time, and I wanted to take up another sport.
I see.
So I was looking around MMA, boxing, just like, wrestling. I love wrestling from the time I'm a kid. Why not just go for the class, just attend, see if I can learn something. So that's why I took up wrestling.
So you took up wrestling at Singapore Pro Wrestling, right?
Yeah, correct.
And your trainer was this famous wrestler Andrew the Statement.
Ding, yes,
Andrew
right.
Ding. Okay, so
Yeah, but that's another story.
Okay,
lah.
that's
So
another
you're talking about the
story.
personal
Personal
training,
training,
right?
yeah, okay.
So I managed to win that championship lah. So I won the Mr. Singapore title 2016. So after that, there was this gym that approached me. I'm not going to mention the name of the gym lah.
Okay.
So they approached me a couple of times, tried to pull me in, say, hey, why not you become our master trainer? Then I thought, okay, sure.
that is after you won Mr. Singapore, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
at this point of time, I have a diploma in sports science. I have like a whole stack of other certs. And then I have the Mr. Singapore title and many other bodybuilding championships.
That's a very good resume, yeah. So people
Awesome resume,
Awesome
man.
resume,
Awesome
okay.
resume.
So we discussed, then they say, okay, we can give you a basic of $1,800.
What?
I mean, it was actually okay because I'm also the first time that I'm going to work as a trainer. Despite my
Okay.
experience.
Yeah, alright,
So I
understand.
thought, okay, it's fair.
Entry level lah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So I said, okay, I'll take this up. And the gym was very near to my place. So when I went to the gym, just one day before the job is supposed to start, because now at this point in time I not work for a few months, so I'm ready to start working again.
Okay.
they gave me a contract and the contract states 1.3 salary. Then I was shocked. I was like, didn't we agree on 1.8? Then they said, oh no, this is just for a probation period. Then they said, but
So after you
worry.
confirm, then it goes up to 1.8 lah, so called.
So they said, don't worry, there's a lot of people who sign up for personal training. So your commission will add up. Then I thought, okay, that sounds fair. So I signed the deal, I took it. Next day I started work. There wasn't really that many personal training guys as they claimed.
So it was just like,
So you and a few other fellas lah.
I mean, that was just me and then there was another guy. So there was me, there was another guy. The other guy was like a sales consultant. So he's the one supposed to sell the membership. And then we had this manager guy. So what happened was like, this manager guy was actually competing with us for our money. That means like the manager guy also sell
So
memberships.
simply put, kena alva lah bro. Indian fellas says kena alva, kena pay out.
And the manager guy is like only like 4K. But he's still selling memberships to make the profit from there. And he's also doing personal training to make the profit
so
from
you
there.
went, oh, okay, that's weird, man. All right. So, how long were you there?
Like, okay, so here's the story lah. So 3 months after that, I spoke to them again. And they said, oh, the gym is not doing well. So I just resigned after that.
This bullshit.
But the gym actually did do well lah, because subsequently they opened other branches as well.
Is the gym still around?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your first one. And then you mentioned you went to the second gym?
Yeah, so there was this other gym I worked in. Also, I'm not going to mention the name
Okay,
because they are very well known for suing people.
Okay.
Alright.
So they have a name which is very similar to a big chain of gyms in the US.
Okay.
But they are not affiliated to that US chain.
Okay.
So you just use the...
Yeah,
So
they change
what
the
happened with
philosophy.
this one then?
Okay.
Yeah, so basically what they do, right, their recruitment said that, oh, we are the highest paid trainers in Singapore, you should join us and stuff like that. So when I joined them, they said, so I joined them, like, I showed my diploma and all. They said, oh, if you have a diploma, you still have to do our course.
Okay.
Internal
It's
course?
Not internal lah, it's a recognized course lah.
Okay.
But you cannot compare that to a diploma.
Yeah, for sure.
But I thought, never mind, okay, I'll invest in myself.
Okay.
It's okay to have another cert. So I paid about $900.
You have to pay.
Yeah.
It's not sponsored by the company.
No, it's not.
Okay, alright.
So no bond and shit lah.
Yeah,
No
no
bond.
bond.
Just my
Alamak,
bond.
bro.
Yeah.
So it was okay. I attended the course. Was quite easy for me because I already have diploma. And a lot of people study for the sake of passing exams, right? But I was one of those guys who studied because I really wanted to learn.
Passion,
So
yeah.
I remember a lot of the things, without studying much, I just passed it quite easily. So after that, when to start work, then I realized that, actually it's not true that it's the highest paid traders in Singapore.
Oh,
It's like it only happens under a very, very unique circumstance.
I see.
I see. So there's prerequisites to fulfill before you reach that.
And
Okay.
it's very, very unlikely that you will reach it. Then, most of them will try, then they will leave.
So
Okay, bro. So basically, right, since you've been in gyms and all that, right? You're a trainer. So when you're working in the gym, what is it that irks you, bro? That you see what irritates you in the gym.
Actually, there's a lot lah.
Okay, like if we put the top 3,
The top 3.
Pet peeves.
so-called pet peeves in the gym.
Yeah, I will say things that affect other gym users.
Okay, example like.
Firstly, I'll say people who are shouting unnecessarily.
Yeah, I hear that a lot of times, yeah. But
It's a bit weird.
To an extent, I can understand. When I squat very, very heavy weights,
of course,
Okay.
you need that
there
urge.
will be, because there's so much pressure in your torso.
Okay.
Your wind comes out through your voice box. There will be a sound, like a
Contraction.
grunt.
Yeah.
And can you give us an example of the gun, bro?
Ooh.
Okay.
But that is not.
That's not so bad lah.
Yeah.
It's not so loud
But
lah.
some people really exaggerate it, and they don't lift heavy weights, no?
So if you're not lifting something that is so heavy that causes that kind of pressure,
Yeah.
but you're orgasming in the gym, while doing that,
Okay, so you legit.
I get you, man.
I get you, man.
yeah. So there is that one.
That's the first one, okay?
First one,
And
yeah.
then there's the people who hawk equipment. They will take like 3-4 dumbbells and keep. And the gym is crowded. People want to share. Like, okay, you take and keep. You need to do superset. I can understand, no problem.
Yeah.
But when people ask you, can I borrow for one set? You don't lend.
Oh, yeah.
I
see.
exactly. Share lah.
Sharing,
Sharing.
yeah. That's why.
And the third one, bro?
The third one will be people who slam their deadlifts even when the weight is not actually heavy.
Oh, yeah. We get it a lot, man. I really get it.
So they just let go, pam.
It's just for attention, bro. Like, yeah, I'm Jack.
So people will see the sound lah.
Because this thing is actually a kind of worms. Because like in a powerlifting meet, right? The people who do powerlifting, they have to do that because they have to conserve energy. They got to do each of the big lift 3 times. But the guys in the gym, a lot of them who do it are not actually powerlifters. They don't compete. They don't train to compete. They just want to show off to people. Hey, look, I can.
I get it. That's about egos, Yeah, man. So okay. So after your so-called bad experience with these 2 gyms, right? You decided to set off on your own.
Yeah, because I felt like, actually at that point of time I was so discouraged. Like, here's the thing: there was no bridge between my services and the market. I didn't understand that connection at that point of time. So I thought like, I don't work in the fitness industry. It's so toxic.
Because you like, oh man, like you don't know your demographics. Because,
Upset
because he don't have the bridge to the audience yet. So he thought like, man, if this fitness industry is so toxic, I don't want to be part of this, right?
Because I knew that I had the knowledge to help a lot of people.
Yes.
So you had the certifications, you know.
Yeah, you get experience,
Exactly.
So you decided to set off on your own by social media, by engaging in social media presence, right?
Actually, that wasn't how I started.
Okay.
I actually I joined an IT company after that.
Okay.
IT.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this jack of all trades, guys. Got computer problems, I can call you. So IT then?
Yeah, so as I was doing that job, right, I also competed. I continued to compete. Even after 2 years after Mr. Singapore, I still competed. I competed in some regional shows. So what I did was I started becoming more active on social media like Facebook and Instagram. I started like posting training videos, posting my diet, and then I posted those contest videos.
So people like they saw that and they're like, oh man, this is something which I want to do. They reach out to you.
So I actually managed to create a link between myself and my market by my social media presence, but I didn't even know. I didn't realize it. So as I continued to work in my company, right, what happened was the company went through a very bad phase. So they couldn't pay me anymore at some point.
That bad, bro. They couldn't pay you.
Yeah, probably.
Sad,
It was not due to any fault of their own.
Okay.
It's just circumstances.
The people they were doing a project for suddenly stopped paying them and
so they can pay you, goes down.
Goes down,
So, but that kind of because at that point of time, right, I realized that I need to do something else in the meantime. So I started posting online coaching, that kind of advertisements on my IG and Facebook. And then the next thing I know, like a bunch of people came and I realized that I can do this now. So at that point of time, I left the company and I started as a full-time freelance personal trainer and online coach.
So that's where your market grew. And that's where he's doing it.
So you do online as well. So you don't actually meet the customers. So you do like a Zoom call. So you train them, or how does it go?
I don't do those kind of Zoom call training.
Then
what I do is I provide them a nutrition plan.
Do they stick to it, bro? Is it
just the thing? They pay me for the plan is theirs.
So it's up to you. I want to follow, don't follow.
And because in my plan, I actually tell them to check in with me in 3 weeks time. So
checking like how to show the results.
Like to just give me a brief like how did it go.
I see.
And because based on the result, because right, I give the nutrition plan I give them is very very detailed. It has macros, it has figures, or it has calculations. So you see, right, if you want to change a nutrition plan, you need XYZ first. So I give them the XYZ. Then from there, I know whether it's X plus that, X plus 1, Y minus 1.
So from there, you gauge where does it work for them, how you can improve their plan.
Right.
So okay, in a way, do you have like this group of clients that you successfully build them into the body that you want?
Got a lot.
See.
Okay, so but that being said, just now I asked you what irritated you in terms of the gym goers. So what irritates you in terms of your clients? Like, do people like, what is it that turns you off in terms of...
like they question your knowledge. Sometimes they ask me, as a trainer, you're like, man, what you like? What kind of hard clients you have to deal with?
Okay, so far I've been very lucky. I didn't get the very bad one. Because I think they understand that I know my stuff. So they wouldn't want to...
Of course.
But their clients will have doubts. They doubt themselves a lot.
Doubt themselves are not you lah.
Okay. I won't doubt him lah, because look at him.
Exactly, that's the thing.
It's a walking testimony of
exactly.
But I think the only thing that will get to me sometimes is when they're not trying hard enough.
So it's like
my approach is not like boot camp like a
Because you can see the potential in them.
yeah, but I can see like they can do more. I will try to tell them to do more, but I can see that they can do, just that they don't want to push. Then that irks me a bit. And it's not because of me wanting to get my way, but because when I train someone, right, I actually put my heart into it. It actually takes a bit away from me as I do the job, because to me, right,
Wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
Because to me, because they trust me with their fitness goals, it's personal to me that they get there.
This is very good, guys, because
very good.
people are sometimes just out there for the money.
Yes.
Yeah, but this guy is genuine, guys.
So I mean, you hear from the man himself.
yes,
like
to you, man.
you hear from the man himself. It's a testament of putting his heart and soul into training people. And I've met many fitness trainers who just dare to rip you off. I mean, I'm sorry, this is just the plain truth. Like, they do not have the necessary knowledge, the fitness acumen, the science behind why certain things react in a certain way, and certainly they don't have the body, some of them. So, but they are just there to train you for the sake of it's a business, it's a business.
Yeah, it's a business.
So I mean, I understand, like, people are out there to make money, but you have to be very, very responsible.
Choose your trainers well.
Yeah, choose your trainers well, and I think the fitness trainers who are doing this, you have to be responsible. People are actually placing their hopes in you, right?
Hard-earned money,
Yeah, hard-earned money. So you should really know what you're trying to do. You should know why are you in the fitness industry. Is it a money-making thing, or are you really passionate?
Yeah.
Because I've yet to find. I'm sure there are many passionate trainers, but I mean the way he explains, bro, like
One of a kind, bro.
yeah, he takes a pride in, like, you know what? You put myself, you put your hopes and trust in me to finish your goal, and I'm taking some part of me to make sure you reach there. And that's something, and that's a commitment.
There's the word there, commitment.
So meaning that he's willing to share and willing to actually train people who is invested, who has the same mentality as you. So in that way, when people, I'm sure you get off when people, like, when they reach their goals, you feel happy. Like,
Of course,
yeah, it's like, man.
Do people ever blame you, bro, for not reaching their goals?
on and off they will ask me lah, like hey, I'm training for so long already, how come? But in most of the cases, right, is they're not following certain things. Like, let's say, okay, I'm very lucky, most of the people who are training with me follow all the nutrition plans also.
Yes.
So it's quite easy for me. They are very on, they come in, they want to work hard. I don't even need to push them.
Yes.
Like there's a few people who, I tell them that, okay, you need to meet these many grams of protein per day, and I give them very, very easy ways to do it.
Nice.
Like let's say, okay, you have this number of protein shakes a day, you have this many eggs, okay, the rest no need to worry, just eat normal. Because I already did the max for them.
Yeah.
And then they come and give me excuses like, oh, my mom didn't make my protein shake for me. You know that
Really? Oh, man.
Sure lah, the mom, huh?
Oh, okay.
My mom didn't make my chicken,
Your mom didn't make chicken. My mom never slaughtered chicken. What kind of cock reason is that, bro?
So there's some very entitled people.
But that's something you can't control, bro. Yeah, it's just an uncontrollable part. I mean, okay, he can provide, like, there's this saying, like, we can like for him, he can provide the skills, the techniques, the knowledge, the acumen, but the will and the heart,
You can bring the horse to the water, you can't force the water the horse to drink,
I mean, that's what people need to understand.
My
Like,
mom never made a chicken for me, bro. Fuck.
okay. Alright, bro. So I'm just so curious about this counting calories thing. So when you do that, you take a person's weight and everything, and you tell them this is how much you need for your body. But do you prepare like a fitness plan for them as well? Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's a comprehensive thing.
So for the online one, I just give them a training plan to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Then they will check back with me lah. Like maybe sometimes they'll take videos and send me like, is this correct? That sort of thing.
Okay. One final answer, like question. Okay, this is very.
I also got a final question as well.
Okay,
You go
this
first,
is fitness related. Okay.
Okay.
Weight training first or cardio first? Bro?
Weight training first.
Weight training first. Why? Because to exhaust your muscle first, right?
Okay lah, there's science
Science
behind
behind it, yeah.
The science behind it is
Listen, guys, listen.
training specificity.
Yeah.
That means you must do your training for the specific purpose they're trying to do it for. So if you're doing your cardio for fat loss, right, then ideally you want to do it after your weight training, because if you understand the human energy system, right, cardio burns fat directly from your stores, but you must do it at the correct heart rate,
Correct. Yeah.
which is about 60 to 70%. But here's the thing, that process has its limitations. means that when you go into your cardio, your first half an hour you're not burning fat, you're burning blood sugar.
Yes.
So once your blood sugar runs out, then only you will start to go to body fat.
Yes.
So if let's say you go in the gym, you do cardio first, your blood sugar runs out, but you haven't even burned body fat,
Yeah.
then you go into your weight training, you're already fatigued, so you can't get the best out of your weight.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I understand. So it's best to maximize the weight first and then burn it after it.
Correct. So you do weight training first, your blood sugar is already low. So you finish your weight training, by the time you go to your cardio, your body will start burning fat.
And then it's much more practical and efficient.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Listen, guys, weight training first, then your cardio. Okay. Alright, so
My question, bro.
Okay.
My question for bodybuilding, bro. Since you grew up bodybuilding and all that, and you were once a bodybuilder, do you ever look up to any bodybuilders, or if you have like a favorite bodybuilder?
Okay lah, my most favorite will be Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman, 8 times Mr. Olympia, guys. 8 times, guys. Yeah.
And if you see, a lot of my training style is very similar to his. And also the way I push past thresholds, I try to max out, I try to leave everything I have got in the gym when I leave.
But with that being said, bro, are you ever worried that you might end up like him?
I don't think so because I am being very careful also.
What actually happened to him that caused him to that? Do you know that?
Okay, he was doing heavy squats one day, and he felt something a bit like something wasn't
snap
right,
or pull or?
like a snap or something.
Oh, okay.
So he was in a lot of pain lah. So he went to the doctors and all, but after that he just continued his journey. And along the way, what he did was he saw chiro and all that. But I think Ronnie Coleman's problem, the reason why he got so bad, right, it wasn't his injury itself, but his surgery. Because you see, he walked into that surgery and then he was never the same again after that.
Exactly, man.
Yep,
That's scary, bro.
Scary, bro.
Yeah,
Because
that's
surgery is all
scary.
50-50. I never know what
And
happened.
here's the thing, he went to the same surgeon for like, I don't know how many times, like 6 or 7 or 10 surgeries, all with the same surgeon. He did not get a second opinion from another person.
See? I knew it, man. Oh, boy. Okay, talking about that, bro. I'm sure as a bodybuilder and athlete, right, you should have some recovery sessions, okay? So how do you recover from that fatigue? Do you believe this amino acid thing?
Okay, amino acid, right, what it actually is just broken down protein. So if your protein intake is high enough, right, your amino is high enough.
Should be fine. So actually, it's not necessary, right?
Yeah. So
recovery.
If you want to recover properly from your training, number one, your protein intake must be high enough. Number two, your carb intake also must be high enough.
Okay.
Then you need at least 7-8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I think sleep is important.
And there's another thing, you cannot overtrain also. You see, training very hard and overtraining is two different things.
Is there such a thing also that people say sometimes if you're not sore, it's not a good session? Is there such a thing or is that bullshit?
Not necessary. Because every time you train, your body becomes more efficient. So there will come a point where your body's so efficient at clearing out all the lactic acid and free radicals and stuff, right? You might not even feel sore. But it doesn't mean your muscles are not burnt out.
It doesn't mean it's not a good workout session.
Correct. So and inside your body, your muscles are still torn up. Your muscles need to slowly recover, and muscle recovery takes about 3 to 4 days. So sometimes
is it a delayed onset muscle soreness?
No, delayed onset muscle soreness, right? It's just like lactic acid like that. It's
just building up in your body.
So the muscle itself physically recovering takes about 4 days. And it's not really related to any pain that you feel.
Do you do a lot of stretching?
Oh yes, I do a lot of
very
stretching.
important.
So do you do yoga, bro?
Sorry?
Do you do yoga?
I don't do yoga, but I do specific stretches almost every night.
I believe in stretching. I think stretching is very underrated, bro. A lot of people don't stretch, that's why they get injured.
And they don't stretch enough. Here's the thing. I know the importance of it because if you guys might not believe it, I have a double herniated disc.
You went the knife as well?
No, I did not. Okay, I got this during my BMT actually.
Oh man.
2006. So back in the day, right, I was standing up obstacle course. I think you guys probably did it.
Yeah.
Full metal order, then rifle and all. So I was doing the low rope, I was climbing.
Okay.
Then I let it go too early, so I landed very hard on the legs.
Okay.
Whoa.
So after that, I had pain lah. But then I wanted to finish that first. So I continued and I finished first. And I was okay because herniated disc, right, it does not affect you on the onset, it affects you later on. So the next 2 years, like every time my back pain, then my legs get a bit numb sometimes, pins and needles. So it's only like around 3-4 years later that I got it checked out. And then MRI scan, then we found out, okay, herniated disc.
Man.
So,
Okay. For those who don't know what is a herniated disc, bro, what is it actually?
okay, so there's your disc, right? Then there's like soft tissues in between your disc that sort of cushions your disc.
Okay.
So
The spinal disc,
yeah,
spinal,
correct.
so that's in between.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So when you land very hard, that disc might get ruptured and the fluid inside might start coming out. So yeah, so when this thing starts to touch your nerves and stuff, then it'll transmit a lot of pain.
I see. So generally speaking, are you in pain sometimes, bro? For sitting long time or something like that?
I feel almost like I don't even have this injury because I managed to take care of it very well.
Awesome,
First things
awesome.
first, right? I rehabbed my injury at that stage, and then I started to do weight training properly, deadlift and squats and all, very very lightweight, and then very progressively. So all the muscles around my spine started to get stronger, and then
Spot.
correct. Yeah, so it supported the joint better, so I don't have the.
Yep, I understand.
But here's the thing: whenever your disc touches your nerve or goes near your nerve, right, your body will just stiffen up all the muscles above and below your hip. So it will register to you as a lower back pain or a spine pain or a tailbone pain. But what actually is happening, right? It's just that the muscles around are tight. So you need to stretch out all of them.
Do you go for massages, bro?
Not so often, but I spend more time doing foam roll almost
Go
every
to
day.
Kangurut, I think.
Yeah.
Bro, I do foam roll. I do foam rolling, bro. Very important because like I mentioned, the muscle tightness when you do foam, it just releases the pressure.
Actually, foam roll is almost the same like
Yes,
a massage.
massage, yeah.
It's just that instead of someone pressing your body, you lie down and press your body into the foam roller.
You know the foam roller?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Let's give it a shot one day.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, one question, bro, I have. Okay, since you do bodybuilding and all this, right? Like, there's always a saying, in comes to performance, okay, people tend to abstinate from sex before they do sports. There were football coaches also, who will say, don't go, have sex, before a big game, something like that. So when it comes to bodybuilding, bro, is there any relation in terms of, abstinence and then, on the day of your competition, like, the muscles don't pack up so much or, how does it, is there any relation whatsoever or you can just go and let go?
Well, in that sense, right, I don't know to what extent it's going to affect. But because to prepare for bodybuilding contest, right, there's so many other things.
yeah.
You must be dehydrated and completely depleted by the time you go to stage.
Because you want to get your water weight off, right? Something like that.
So
Is that dangerous?
you must know how to do it.
Okay.
It's just like cutting weight,
Like MMA.
MMA cutting weight is the same, yeah.
Because sometimes when you see on the MMA cutting weight, these people are very weak.
Yeah, because because they have to taper off, no? So drink water, be here and there. They cannot like eat, because they have to make weight. Yeah, it's the same thing for bodybuilding because you don't want to be bloated, right, bro? You want to let your muscles come out and your pecs.
Are you still bodybuilding, bro?
Yeah,
bro. Yeah.
So you are not retired from bodybuilding yet.
No, I'm not retired.
I see. So do we actually have a chance to see you in the near future?
Yeah, of course. I was hoping that I could compete this year and see what shows are there. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, in terms of bodybuilding competition, what is I would say, your highest accolade or achievement?
There's two which I would say is on par. 2017 Asian Championship
Okay, and you got
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
So that is best in Asia lah, I would say, for your...
Well, I wouldn't say best in Asia because there can be several Asian championships held in different countries. So
I see.
but I would say that I'm at that level that I'm considered like maybe Asian standard.
Asian standard,
Okay.
for sure, man.
Have you ever tried, world standard? Do you ever think of going there?
I think
That was the other one. It's called the World Regional Championship. So I won my category, but I didn't win the overalls.
And your category was?
The one was the Classic Physique Class B.
Okay.
Hey, but kudos, man.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not
Not
easy,
many people
man.
can
Not many
go
people
that
can
far,
achieve
man.
that, yeah.
My hats off to you, sir.
Okay, so now from champion bodybuilder,
Yeah.
personal training, pro wrestling, bro.
Pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling. So
what made you?
he said just now he's into wrestling.
Okay,
so
what was
when
your first match that you remember, bro?
Yeah.
You mean in wrestling?
In wrestling,
What I watched.
when you watched it when you with your dad or something like that, no?
When I think back, the one that comes to mind is Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, that ladder match.
It's classic WrestleMania.
Yeah, man.
First ladder match. Yeah.
WrestleMania 10, I believe.
Yeah, WrestleMania 10. Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that's the first match.
So
I remember watching that match.
I remember watching that show.
Shawn Michaels' pants being pulled on.
So what do you see in that match that said, man, I want to try pro wrestling?
I mean, it wasn't the match itself, but because I've been watching it since I was a kid and I liked it, I enjoyed the product. So as the years passed, right, and I became an adult, people always will say, watch wrestling, you're childish.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I never believed in that. For some reason, something about wrestling always drew me.
Yes.
There's something childish about wrestling, guys. No, you try to get a body slam, see whether childish.
It's nothing childish, yeah, true. So, when you first step into Singapore pro wrestling, right, bro? Like, I mean, you have to go to school, right? So, how long did you train until you became like confident to be a full-fledged wrestler and go into a match?
Okay, normally it should take people 1 or 2 years.
See,
Mine was a bit
1
fast.
or 2 years, guys. Not 1 or 2 matches, or training sessions. 1 or 2 years.
Mine was a bit fast because I was attending the classes 4 times a week. Remember I was saying, right, at the time I'm not working, I'm just training for the championship.
Yeah, showing up, yep.
So I went 3-4 times a week. Within like, I think, if I remember correctly, right, I think 3 months I made my first appearance. Not a full match, but I made an appearance.
So I would say you're one of the fast learners, I would say.
Okay,
Actually, I wouldn't say I'm a fast learner. Just that I kept training and I had a value.
you put in the work, yeah.
No. See, I had a value not as a good wrestler, but I had this physique. And it's something that can draw an audience.
Yes.
And I don't need to do so much of things. I just do my big slams and all that.
Yes.
And I also had another element because my profile had grown a lot as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
As Mr. Singapore, it means considered like number 1 in Singapore for that year.
So you had that how do you say that crowd? You had that pulling. So it's easier for you to go over in a way, right? Yeah.
It's more like when I joined wrestling and I start sharing about it, many more people know that there is such thing as Singapore pro wrestling.
Yes, because of your social media presence.
My pool of people.
Your pool of people, your market. Okay, so
I'll be honest. It was through him, bro, that I knew about Singapore Pro.
Yeah, I know about him through. You know when? Because when he cutting a promo against the Butcher Man, and the Butcher Man kind of attack you in the gym or something. I saw that.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, this is like a promo, like you see in WWE, but it's in Singapore version. I was like, oh, cool. Then there was this. I thought it was a real thing, bro. I thought, hey, this is real. Yeah, but then I said, oh, this is a work, bro. It was pretty cool, man. Like, we have that capability to actually.
You can pull it off.
Yeah, you can pull it off.
Exactly.
As a promo.
What other people can do, we also can do, bro.
Exactly. So, who came up with the gimmick? Destroyer Dharma. You did.
Okay,
Why Destroyer?
Why
bro?
Destroyer Dharma?
Because of Shiva, the Destroyer, or I don't know, just thinking.
Or it's just because of your power, your presence, your persona as a strong, aggressive wrestler.
Okay lah, you know there's this DC comic character called Doomsday.
Oh,
He's one of the most powerful of all the Africans, yeah.
It's known as the Ultimate Destroyer.
Yeah.
Ultimate Destroyer.
So, okay, actually my gimmick itself, right? When I made my first appearance, like it wasn't really planned. Andrew Tang was trying to give me a push, and he said, you know what, just come to the ring with me, and then you just pull out the referee and choke slam my opponent, something like that. So I came out and I actually.
So you were a heel, bro.
I was a heel, but I got a good reaction. People were like cheering, they were like very surprised, like, wow, how come?
So they wanted you to be a baby face, in a way, and you came to be.
Just in case nobody knows, heel is a bad guy, babyface is a good guy.
Yeah, in pro wrestling terms. So, do you think you do better as heel or babyface?
I've been heel all along.
Yeah.
Never been a babyface.
Yes.
But I'll be honest, bro. You have a very cute voice, bro. For a heel,
No, but when I see him on the ring, like I don't know, I just like I don't think like okay, he's good as a heel, but I still believe that he could be a good babyface as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe
I
too.
think you can prove you can do these roles very well. I think you can be put over as a babyface or heel, but seeing him wrestle, bro, like is Butcher Man a babyface?
Yeah.
He's a babyface, but I thought he's a heel. Bro. I thought you are the babyface, like you're the.
This is the thing. The roles are so intertwined that sometimes people can't tell.
Yeah.
They don't even care anymore. They just want to see a good match.
Yes.
True. Because there's always been, heels, babyface, babyface, it happens as well, right? So you just choose a side,
Yes. So okay, I think one of the best wrestling performance you had is when you went against Butcherman. I think that match was pretty intense.
The chair one.
I mean, like they had this chemistry, man. Like, bam, bam. And when he started to attack, and And then Butcher Man started to reverse and slam him on the chair. And then he did the same. Then it was like, wow, it was like
And then Butcher Man used nak cibai pull the chair.
One thing I see, I was captivated. I was like, wow, this is really like. I mean, I was sitting. I was like, wow, this is. If this can pull it off, it's definitely like something I can see like WWE caliber. Okay, although our promotion is
small,
but I mean it's like it's very entertaining, and I don't mind to pay to watch because it's really entertaining. And the power move you do, bro, wow. Sidewalk slam, choke slam. Okay, the suplex, is it a brain buster or even?
No, just normal. Mine is called a stalling suplex.
So
It's like a British bulldog kind of thing, when he used to hold up the fellas up.
Okay, bro, what is the most move that you like to use? Like, oh man, 50-50 you wanna do? Like you're scared. Like what's the most? What's the
You might hurt a person.
Yeah. Like there's a chance of like, oh man,
Injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally the way I plan my matches, right, we don't do stuff like that. If something is a bit risky, we
Try to avoid it.
Try. If it's a bit dangerous.
Safety first lah. Safety first lah. Because although you're entertaining, everybody has a life and a family as well. Behind the scenes as well.
That's why like for power driver, no.
Actually, I mean, if you really practice it properly,
It should be okay lah.
it should be okay.
You should be fine
Okay, as a wrestling fan, bro, do you have a wrestling favorite wrestling promotion? I would say.
I would say
Because wrestling with WWE, there is AEW, there is TNA, there is Ring of Honor, there's lots. You see. So for you personally.
I would say the WWE, but before maybe 2008, 2007.
Attitude era, before the BG shit,
Attitude era.
Okay, so basically for you personally, favorite male wrestler of all time?
It's a bit hard. I'll say Bobby Lashley, but it's a bit hard.
Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley.
Same, similar.
Build,
Ex-military also, right? Yeah.
Famous, but best, your favorite female wrestler?
Female wrestler, okay. Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix,
yeah.
Glamazon, yeah.
What's your favorite wrestler?
I got a few, bro. But, okay, female wrestlers. Okay, Stacy Keibler.
Stacy Keibler.
Yeah, Stacy Keibler. She was like, wow.
Yeah, when we were kids.
But then I would say, in terms of female wrestling, I think the people, like what she said, Glamazon, she was the one who break a lot of barriers. China break a lot of barriers as well.
Yes, correct, yeah.
And
China would be my other favorite as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She broke a lot of barriers. I think she was the one who made.
She broke her teeth before, bro.
Huh?
She took a chair shot, and then I think her implant burst. She was rushed to the hospital because of that.
And China, you know why? Because
The late China, she passed away.
Yeah, she passed away. I think she really brought women wrestling into the highlight.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
enjoy and look forward.
Not many people knew about
Not
women
many people
wrestling.
about women wrestling,
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
Okay, so talking about our Singapore Pro Wrestling, right, bro? You mentioned that it's one of the top promotions in Asia. Do you think that given the chance, if you have more sponsorship, more investors, do you think you can go big?
You mean the SPW?
SPW itself.
Yeah, I think yes. I think it can grow a lot bigger. I think the potential is there, the quality of matches are there, the training is there, the production value is there.
So, okay, let's say for example, any aspiring wrestlers,
Okay.
they would like to be a wrestler. So, how do they have to like go to SPW?
Is that okay interview, bro?
It's like, how can they be a wrestler?
Actually, anyone can join the training class.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone can join the training class. Then you train. You see, people get weirded out as we do training because a lot of people think that wrestling is so easy.
Yep.
Just go there, jump on the trampoline.
Yeah.
But then when they step into the ring, they not even their first bump. They do their first roll. They will realize that actually the ring is quite hard.
Yeah.
And then there will be things that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because you see, you want to do a full 10-minute match. It's not about just doing moves.
Yeah, man.
Your basics have to be there. You need to know how to land, how to roll, how
Take
to
a
jump, how
bar,
to flip. There's a lot of things you need to learn.
Okay.
So in the process of that, right, some people will just like, no,
I don't want
this
to
is not as fun as you
Yes.
do on TV. It's not
Yeah,
real anymore.
exactly.
Correct. I understand that.
Have you been injured because of wrestling?
Not seriously, but I can tell you, right, like first time went for my bumps training. That means bumps basically means you land on the mat.
Yeah.
It hurt for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Because I landed slightly wrong.
3 weeks, guys.
It's just a bump, you know.
Because people don't understand. People think that the wrestling ring is like a trampoline. But actually, right, what
It's
the
hard,
wrestling ring is actually made of is steel beams. and then there's plywood on top of the steel beams, and then there's a layer of styrofoam, but the styrofoam is for aesthetic purpose so that you don't see the edges of the plywood.
Okay.
And then they put the canvas over. So the ring is actually pretty hard.
The canvas is it like those sit up canvas kind of thing you do in school or?
No man, I don't think so.
The canvas are like those, you know, like there's like big amount of goods in the warehouse. They use a kind of
You.
canvas to cover the kind of canvas.
So with that said, I mean, don't you guys say that wrestling is fake? It's a choreographed entertainment work, but what they do in the ring is real, man, and it's not easy to be a pro wrestler. So you guys better don't like have a like have the, this is just fake. I'm sure they cannot do anything. No man. I think you just come to the trial class and see whether you like it. Once you go inside,
fake is the wrong word.
Fake is the wrong word.
It's choreographed violence.
Choreographed violence, yes.
I'll say it's a live stunt show.
A live stunt
Real
show.
stunts.
Real stunts.
And if anyone thinks pro wrestling is fake, you can try taking a fake body slam on the ground, like what I did in my match with Butcherman.
Oh, that. Oh man.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do the slam for you.
Yeah. So you guys.
Okay, bro.
The Destroyer Death Drop.
What was your entrance music?
Yeah.
Okay, originally right, I used this music called The Power of Darkness by Two Steps from Hell.
Okay.
Because it really suited my gimmick very well.
Yes.
But then SVW came up with another music.
Oh, it's a original composition.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
So nobody can sue you lah basically.
Yeah.
Basically, I got no copyright issues lah.
Yeah.
Then the other music, right, like
Tak syok lah.
it was not bad,
Oh, okay.
but I felt like my first music fitted me the best.
Okay, bro.
Because you see, like my gimmick, although I was like actually I think I was telling you guys how it came about, right?
Yeah.
So, so I was supposed to suddenly show up, and then I didn't really have a wrestling name, so I
Okay.
pitched this idea, Destroyer Dharma.
Mm.
There was this other idea which I didn't pitch at that time, but Mr. Singapore Day Dharma, because at that time I haven't won the title yet. I didn't want to like suddenly use this name and
Yeah.
like what if I didn't win?
Yeah. Understand.
So and then they like the Destroyer idea.
Yeah.
So I just went out that first time as Destroyer, and then I pull out the referee, I choke slam into the opponent lah.
I think that was when you were wearing the like a military pants, right? Yeah, I
So
saw
I
that.
didn't even have a costume.
You just came out there.
Yeah.
Okay, the mohawk, was it part of your gimmick? Or was it just your...
I just happened to cut my hair like that.
That was pretty cool, man. I like that.
Badass.
Badass, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So but after that event, right, I had some time to think about it. So what's my gimmick gonna be? And then I realized that subconsciously, without thinking too much about it, right, Destroyer Dharma is actually myself, but in a different part of my life. So like this version of me that you see here, right, I'm the guy who got bullied, then I came out of it, then I built my life back and stuff. Destroyer Dharma is
The other side, the darkness.
what if the dark side? What if I built up my life? But
What if you were the bully?
I want revenge now.
Yes. I like that, man. That's a pretty good thing. There's two sides of it.
Yeah.
So this is the Mr. Nice Dharma. When it's up in the ring, man, you're gonna face the Destroyer Dharma. And I'm there to kick your ass. Oh, I can cut a promo, bro.
Yeah. Bro, you got your wrestling gear never? You got your wrestling gear with you, no?
I don't know.
But can you cut a promo, bro?
Yeah, bro. Let's cut a promo for us, man. I
Like, be the Destroyer Drama.
be the Destroyer Dharma, man. Come on. Cut us a promo.
Yeah, I can try. Do you
Yes,
expect this?
yes, come on, man.
Wow, I'm really scared.
Sorry to bring you on the spot.
I mean, cutting a promo is not easy, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy.
How about you cut a promo?
Promo?
Yeah.
I just see your voice, you laugh, bro.
Actually, because my gimmick, right?
Yeah.
I actually need to get into character before I go out.
Yes, getting into that character, yeah. Getting into the zone. Yeah, I mean, like, I saw a couple of promos and he was just like scrolling, and just looking at the camera. And I like it when you look at the camera because, you know, Rizwan? If you notice, he said that one of the things that he do best is to look at the camera and to make sure that people know that I'm the guy.
Exactly.
So I mean, he does that a lot. I mean, and Andrew was just talking and he was just like, I like that. That's very old school, man.
How about you cut a promo, bro? Come on, man. Yeah.
Do we cut a promo?
Yeah, cut a promo,
Like,
bro.
what gonna say?
Huh?
I'm gonna say like what kind of promo? Like okay, I'm fighting for that championship.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the championship.
Okay, so I'm gonna say so what's my gimmick?
I don't know, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to cut a promo here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say, next Saturday, live on Singapore Pro Wrestling, I'm gonna tell you one thing. That belt belongs to me, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I know you. Why are you laughing, bro? It's so hard, bro. Why are you laughing?
I gotta think what you're gonna say. I'm gonna bend you over.
Sorry, bro. We just want to say that. Okay, the reason why we do this, it's not easy to cut a promo, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It's not easy, guys.
I mean, wrestling is not only about taking steps. It's not only like
Mic skills.
you have your mic skills. How about ring psychology? I mean, hype the crowd and how you move in the ring as well, right? In a way, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, okay. Are we going to expect any future SPW wrestling promo shows?
Yeah, I think there are going to be shows soon now that they've changed they are slowly opening Singapore. We're at the tail end of the pandemic already, so there should be shows again.
So are we expect to see Destroyer Dharma in future?
Oh yes, I'll definitely be wrestling.
So bro, so if we see Destroyer Dharma, we can go to the front row.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I got to continue my rivalry with Butcherman.
Yeah. So Mr. Butcherman, you're gonna get your meat soon, man. And this time, Destroyer's gonna bury you and do the death drop in you, and that's the bottom.
Yeah, Butcher's gonna lose his title.
Butcher's gonna lose his title. Your meat, no more meat is gonna save you, bro. I'm with Destroyer Dharma right now. Destroyer Dharma is gonna take that belt and shove it up your ass. Bro,
But one thing I would say, I think the SPW needs to get a better belt. Frankly speaking, from a fan perspective,
Yeah, bro, but
I mean, if you can make a belt, probably make a gold one. Something in similar.
yeah, but come on, man. I mean, it's like it's just starting out, lah. So I think no worries, man. I think belt is cool. I would like to have that belt, bro.
Actually, I was quite curious how much it costs to make a belt like that. It costs a few K,
Of course, bro.
Just
Look at, I mean,
that's a silver belt, bro.
Yeah, the metal plate.
Yeah.
is like good together.
Bro, you saw WWE's belt? It costs a bomb, bro. The
Yeah.
real one, smoking skull belt.
Yeah.
The
But we see, when how I put it, I don't know lah. Maybe this is just a fan perspective lah. If somebody, if a belt is more, how I put it, like for me, practically speaking, I love the gold wing belt.
yeah.
The gold wing belt, that was my favorite belt of all time lah.
Gold wing belt.
Yeah, in WWE, they had this time when the gold wings at the side of the belt.
It was also
yeah.
it was
So
really
that was
cool.
my favorite lah. I never dig the John Cena spin bullshit thing, you know.
I mean that's just a gimmick lah. Like you just wanna. I mean,
So
it's
when
about
back
marketing,
there, like let's say, like for me lah, I think if a wrestler has the kind of belt which is like so-called a bit more precious, I would say it makes more sense in a sense when you hold it, you walk with it, you know, because like currently, just a fan point of view, is that I find it a bit white, for white and red lah, because it's Singapore production. You see.
yeah, but to me it's fine. I mean, white or not, it's still a belt, still a championship belt.
The Singapore Championship looked quite nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I was having that belt for a while.
Yeah, I think it looks nice. I think it just
you
looks
see
cool.
in close up, actually looks very nice.
Yeah.
And I thought silver was quite nice compared to the gold.
Yeah, because it's something different, and I think it looks good. I like the belt. Can I get the belt? Can I carry the belt? No.
If you come for a show, we can show you.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna come for the show, bro. So
I guess it's real.
And in fact, right, my favorite belt is actually the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, looks nice. Yes, looks nice. Yeah. So,
That would
bro,
look nice also because you can hold it, you know, big ass on your chest kind of thing. Yeah, looks nice.
okay, bro. Another question. So, if you were to fight for the championship, and if I see you like, man, you are in the corner, man, like and then if like me and him interrupt, and I just help you with it.
Guess we made it up by the Paki Bros. Who knows? Paki Bros in the house.
I mean, if let's say you were to do that in the US, right, the wrestlers will show you.
Yeah, for sure lah. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like it's a culture.
Yeah.
It's a performer. It's a culture.
Yeah.
Someone comes in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, unless if you're part of the show lah.
That's a part of the show.
That's part of the show lah.
There was once in Singapore where a guy did that.
Really?
Yeah. So it was during a women's match. This drunk angmoh guy just
Motherfucker.
Oh, but that was a woman's, bro. I mean, he has probably has. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's drunk.
What are you trying to do?
He was smashed.
I mean, he went into the ring or he tried to grab the person or something. But then, the crew were all around, so they all go and catch him.
Yeah. That's
You beat the shit out of him, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know they will do that, no. I remember Eddie Guerrero actually gave a one
hit
kick.
also. Yeah. I saw that before.
But you see, in US, the law protects them. If the guy shows up in the ring, you can wake him up and say self-defense. But
Yeah. Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, lah. It's always restrain.
Restrain.
But as a wrestling fan, bro, I would say, for based on you, what is your dream match, bro?
Yeah. Dream match.
I think my dream would be have a match with John Cena.
Okay, that's your dream match, lah. We have John Cena. What I mean is that, what would you like to see, as in, like, if you could see from past, present, and all that, who would you like to see versus each other?
Oh. I would be very curious to see full mask skin versus Braun Strowman.
Ooh. Yeah, both are big, both are strong.
Full mask skin is very different from the other version.
The unmasked skin. Unmasked skin not so cool. I prefer the mask skin, bro.
Yeah,
More mysterious.
The very first time when it came out, lah.
Yeah, true.
For you, bro?
Me?
Dream match.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the Hulk Hogan.
So, the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Stone Cold kick his ass, man.
Stunner.
For me personally,
have you tried doing the stunner before?
What lah?
Oh, sure, bro. Bro, can we join? I want to. Can we go wrestling school? So you and me, I want to hit you with the stunner, bro. Is it okay?
Why must go to school and stunner, bro? Now I can stunner.
No, but that is like cool, man. Like, well, but okay.
Obviously, you need to train.
You need to train, for sure. Like, so, who will be the chief trainer of Singapore Pro Wrestling?
Most of the way it's been Endo Tang lah. But before that, right, there is also a Russian trainer. His name is Vadim. So Mr. Vadim was the one who founded Singapore Pro Wrestling together with Endo Tang.
So what happened to Mr. Vadim now?
I mean, he's like running in the background lah.
Oh, so he's like
so he trained the first batch of wrestlers in Singapore. Because he actually has his own promotion in Russia.
Cool. I didn't know this, huh? So
that's why Andrew Traxxas and all these guys, they are so good because they were trained directly by him.
Technical wise.
You watch the triple threat match between me, Buja and Black
Yes.
You saw Black Arrow how good he was. He was also trained by Vadim.
First batch wrestling.
Yeah, I think first
batch.
or quite early lah.
Yeah, I see. So I think that's why we see the Singapore Pro Wrestling, bro. I mean, it's not so like it looks decent, man. I think there's so much more for this sport to grow. Just that we.
That's the problem. The way our Singaporeans perceive local businesses.
Yeah.
They like to just the moment they see it's local, they say lousy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Like,
Don't give it a chance.
Yeah, they don't give it a chance. Yeah.
Not just wrestling, a lot of other things.
True. I understand.
And if you see our
Yes.
athletes across the board,
Yes,
they
bro.
always heavily criticized.
Yes, I agree.
Singaporean cannot make it.
Yes. Why can't we have the mindset of like for the US, they really support or even Malaysia, or even like Indonesia, or even other countries, they support their national team. But when it comes to Singapore, oh man, everybody like.
I mean, I have never seen another country throw shit at their own athlete. You know when Sean Tan, Texas, went over to the WWE, right?
Yeah, he's in the NXT now.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I was happy, like, as we flew the Singapore flag. No?
Yeah, but did you see the comment section? All the posts? Wrestling is fake. He's going to be just booked as a jobber. He's not going to make it. But now he's been booked to win 4 matches.
Correct. They're going to give him a push.
He's been booked so well.
Yep. I can't wait to see him into the live.
At the end of the day,
Mm.
he is living his dream, bro.
He's living his dream.
Yeah, all you fucktards out there are just putting him down, but
man.
you guys
That's
are
why you haters are always doing this, man. You're just so scared of doing something, and you just want to push your insecurities to people like Traxxas and Mr. Dharma here and all the other athletes who have come and paved this way through hard work and dedication. So with that to say, bro, right? Thank you so much, man, Mr. Dharma, for having us.
Most welcome. Thank you guys for inviting me as well.
And for all those guys, if you guys want to have a corporate event, for them to perform, please contact the Singapore Wrestling Federation.
Yeah. So in our YouTube, we're probably going to have links to Mr. Dharma's TikTok or Instagram or both.
I'm on all
Okay.
Instagram, TikTok.
So I'm going to put him here and the Singapore Pro Wrestling as well. And also you can check out Mr. Dharma's page and you can see how well he wrestles and his tips for bodybuilding and his tips on
Or if you would like to employ him as your personal trainer,
please do. And you can reach out to you personally, like through your drop your IG, and then the rates will be discussed personally between yourself. And okay, guys, we're gonna do the wrap up here, and then thank you so much for tuning in.
Once again, thank you very much, Dharma, for
Thank you very
joining
much,
us,
sir. Yeah.
giving your time.
Thank you.
My honor to be the first guest.
Yes. See you guys next
Many more
time
to come.
on Paki Bros.
Paki Bros signing out.
Signing out.